The chilling legend of Hanako-San. Do not summon her. It started as a game, a harmless stare, something to laugh about later. That's what Akari told herself as she and her friends crept through the dark, empty halls of their school after hours. The air was stale, too still, like something was waiting. With every step, the flickering fluorescent lights above hummed a little louder, casting long, distorted shadows that seemed to move when no one was looking. I don't like this, Yui whispered, clutching her phone with both hands. You're such a baby, Mickey scoffed. It's just a stupid urban legend. Akari said nothing, because she wasn't so sure. They all knew the story. Find the third stall in the third floor girls' bathroom. Knock 3 times. Say her name. Hanako-san, are you there? And she will answer. Some said she granted wishes. Others claimed she dragged victims into the toilet and into hell itself. No one ever spoke about what happened after. And maybe, just maybe, that was the part they should have been most afraid of. The third floor hallway stretched before them, lined with classrooms that seemed like they hadn't been used in years. The floorboards beneath their feet groaned like they were alive, whispering protests at their presence. Everything smelled wrong, like mold, like something rotten, like water that had been left to stagnate in a place where no one was meant to be. The air buzzed, thick and oppressive, as if the school itself was watching. The bathroom door stood slightly open, waiting. Inside, the dim light reflected off the murky mirrors, their surfaces fogged over. Even though the air was dry, the stalls were all shut, except for the third one. The door was ajar, hanging open just a crack, like an invitation. Mickey took a deep breath, stepping forward with forced confidence. All right, let's get this over with. She lifted her hand and knocked. Silence. Nothing. Yui let out a breath of relief.
See?
It's just a... Then a knock came from inside the stall.
Slow.
Deliberate. Wrong. Akari's stomach twisted. The air shifted thick, wet, breathing. Then a voice.
Small. Sweet.
Wet.
I'm here.
Inside, there was nothing. Yui whimpered. Let's go. Please. Even Mickey, usually fearless, was frozen in place. Akari turned toward the mirror, and her stomach dropped. The fog on the glass had cleared, and their reflections were wrong. Mickey wasn't smiling, but her reflection was. Yui's head tilted at an unnatural angle. Akari's eyes were too wide, her pupils black and empty. Then they blinked, but none of them had moved. And behind them, something shifted. A shadow. A figure in a red skirt. Hanako-san. Her long, wet hair clung to her face like black threads, her skin a sickly pale gray. Her lips curled into something that was not a smile. It was too wide, too full of teeth. The lights flickered, and the mirror shattered, not onto the floor, into them. The world vanished. Akari was falling, not into darkness, into water.
Cold. Thick. Wrong.
Hands grabbed at her ankles, yanking her down. Too many hands, small, rotting fingers. Their nails were splitting, peeling off in jagged strips as they dug into her skin. Her lungs burned, her screams drowned in the water. That wasn't water at all. It was thick, clotted, warm. The stench of iron and rot filled her mouth. And just before she lost consciousness, she saw her, Hanako-San, floating above her, grinning, before her jaw unhinged. And everything went black. Mickey and Yui were found the next morning, shaking, silent. They had no memory of leaving the bathroom, only that the lights went out, and when they turned back on, Akari was gone. They searched the school. They searched the town. They never found her. But in the third-floor bathroom, the third stall door was open. Inside, the mirror was shattered, and carved into the glass, a name, Akari. Below it, 3 words, knock, knock, knock. And in the reflection, for just a second, a shadow moved. A girl in a red skirt, smiling, and the stall door slammed shut. The bathroom was sealed off, but the whispers never stopped. Some nights, janitors swore they heard dripping. Some students claimed to hear knocking when they walked past. And one girl, one unlucky girl, made a mistake. She went in. The lights flickered. The mirrors fogged. And from inside the third stall, she heard it. A voice. A giggle.
Let me out.
The school had tried to erase the past. They sealed off the third-floor bathroom, declaring it unsafe. They never spoke about Akari, the girl who vanished without a trace 10 years ago. But legends don't die. Not when something is still listening. And not when something is still hungry. The new students whispered about it in hushed voices, a forbidden story, passed down like a curse. Riku, Kana, and June had heard the rumors, but they didn't believe them. They were just kids back then when Akari disappeared. They barely remembered her, but they remembered the fear, the teachers' pale faces, the way no one ever mentioned her name, the way no one ever looked at the third floor, and that made them curious, a curiosity that would soon turn into regret. You guys are such cowards. Rika grinned, holding up the key he had swiped from the janitor's office. It's just a bathroom.
Kana hesitated.
They locked it up for a reason. June scoffed. Because of a stupid ghost story? Come on. The hallway was just as the rumors described. Rotten.
Silent. Wrong.
The air pressed against their skin, thick and damp, as if the school itself was breathing. Rika fit the key into the rusted lock. The door swung open. The bathroom was just as it was left. The mirrors cracked. The air, stale and cold. The third stall, still slightly open. Still waiting. Riku grinned. All right, let's do it. Kana swallowed. We don't have to. But it was too late. June knocked. And then the air changed. The scent of rot and wet earth filled their lungs. And a voice, small,
Sweet. Wet.
I'm here.
the stall door creaked open. Kana's heart stopped. Nothing was inside. But in the mirror, in the broken, jagged glass, Hanako-San smiled. Her face was too pale, her eyes too wide, her lips curling into something too hungry to be human. Her arms stretched, long and wrong, fingers like rotting twigs reaching. A shadow shifted behind them. June screamed. The lights flickered. The mirror shattered. And then there was only the stall, only silence, only dripping. Only Kana and Riku ran out of the bathroom. Only two of them made it back.
June was gone.
The teachers found them hours later, curled up on the floor, shaking, unable to speak. The bathroom was locked again, but the whispers never stopped. They never found June, but her name was carved into the glass, and on the door 3 scratches, a warning, a reminder, a promise. 10 years later, the story still lingers. A new class, new voices, new curious children who don't know any better. And on a cold, rainy night, a group of foolish students creep up the stairs. The door is still locked. The air is still wrong. And yet one of them smiles. One of them knocks. That was one of my own short stories. One of the few horror stories I've written so far, but I'm sure more will come. If you like this story, subscribe to my channel and get notified when my next video is up.